What's up there, fellow YouTubers? This is Chris from the Mars Anomalies channel. This video here is going to be about Columbia Hills on Mars. Pretty wild. I mean, if anybody's ever looked at Columbia Hills, they'll know that there's some structures there. I've seen people do some videos on it, not too much, because most of the aerial pictures, and most of them are miles up, you know, but when they do an aerial or anything, forget about it. I mean, it's just, the picture I'm going to show you guys is just like, it's mind-boggling how I can pull anything even out of this thing, because they did a great job of really manipulating these pictures. And it's really tough in the beginning, I'm going to show you guys, but then I'm going to show you what's kind of sealed the idea, for me anyway, that there's definitely large cities, 1000%. And I've looked over many of these pictures and seen it anyway. I thought it was kind of time to do it and get your thoughts on it as well. Keep in mind, I always use a scale from 0 to 10 or 1 to 10. 10 being absolutely, I believe it, 1000% it's there. Usually you never hear me say that, because I don't speak in absolutes, and I don't believe anything unless I see it. And that's what I like about, if there's a lot of critical thinkers, which I believe a lot of my subscribers are, if this is your first time watching my videos, you're going to see I don't really do a whole lot of anomalies that are right in your face. You'll see that I do have them. I mean, I do have them in the videos, there's no doubt. But I also like to do the flip side of these pictures, which is what they're really hiding in these pictures, and how they manipulate them and really hide everything that's on these, the landscapes, the terrain, call it what you will, whether it be on the lunar surface on the moon or be on Mars. This particular video, it's about Mars. And like I said, I like to just pull these pictures apart. I'm curious. I want to know what it is. I just want to know what it is. So this picture here is about, it's in 2005. I think it was uploaded in 2005. Let me just flip right to that picture. Here it is right here. This is Columbia Hills. And this is supposed to be an elevation map. Okay. Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. But like I said, when you try to zoom into these, you don't really see anything but a lot of blocks and pixelations and stuff like that. But I know right off the bat, by looking at some of these things, I can tell this is not all just pixelation. And it doesn't look like much of anything. I mean, there's stuff over here hiding, you don't see it, because, frankly, you zoom in and this is what happens to it. That's all there is to it. I mean, you tell me if you see anything. I mean, just laying around in there. I mean, come on. But, I mean, I was just looking over this right here, and I'm going, wow, what does it look like? There's a bunch of stuff in here, but you can't tell, because look at this. This is great, because they go out of their way to put this. You know, like, anybody who does Photoshop, and you don't even just need Photoshop. It could be any kind of manipulation kind of software. If you use, like, a fudge tool or a location tool where you can just take it and just take the, let's say in this blue area right here on the left. If I went like this, I could just take it and put a lot of brightness right there, just to hide whatever I want to hide. This is the reason why I flip pictures. I go back and forth, because then this turns from white to the opposite, which would be black. And then you start to see detail. This not so much, because they did a great job. First of all, I think parts of this is inverted. It's been manipulated as far as just glazed over. And you'll see what I mean, because it's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. You just can't see anything in this picture until you really start to enhance, you know, brightness, contrast, equalize the picture, and then invert the whole nine. So this is where you can find it. As usual, you'll have the link. It's right here, the Pier 07848, Columbia Hills Color Elevation Map. And you can see it's by the MGS, which is the Mars Global Surveyor. And you can see what they use, the MOC, Mars Orbiter Camera. It's from Spirit. Now, it says, this elevation map shows the region of Columbia Hills where NASA's Mars Exploration Rover Spirit has been working since mid-2004, which I believe was in April, somewhere around April. Areas colored blue are lower in elevation, and areas colored yellow are higher in elevation. The map imagery is from the Mars Orbiter camera on NASA's Mars Global Surveyor Orbiter. Okay. And then it says right here, Spirit's long journey solved 450, which would be 450 days that it's been there. More than 15 months after landing on Mars, NASA's Spirit rover is still going strong, having traveled a total of 4,276 meters, or 2,000, oh, I'm sorry, not 2,000, I was going to say 2,000, 2.66 miles, which is a little over 2.5 miles. As of Martian day, or solved 450, and it says right there, see, April 8th, 2005. Okay. This elevation map shows the transverse followed by Spirit since arriving at the Columbia Hills in June, June 2004, which is, like they said, middle of the year. The areas colored blue are low in elevation, and areas colored yellow are high. Okay, the blue area at the foot of the Columbia Hills is approximately 20 meters or 66 feet high, higher in elevation than the site where Spirit landed in Gusev Crater. The highest peak is in the order of 80 meters or 262 feet higher still. In other words, the hills Spirit is exploring are more than 250 feet high. The map imagery is from Mars Orbiter camera on NASA's Mars Global Surveyor. Okay, and of course there's your credits for it. And it's 4/19/2005 when they put it in their gallery. Okay. And we're going to keep an eye on this too. Now, two things I want you to keep in mind. The 2.66, now this is almost a year. Just short of a year. I think it was like 10 months or 11 months that this thing traveled only 2.5 miles. Well, just keep that figure in your head a minute. And then I'm going to show you this picture after. This is the Spirit's long journey, and it tells you the path that it took. Okay. It's going to be relevant to this, what I got to tell you. All right, so here we go. Here it is right here. I will leave the link. You guys can jot it down if you like. That's fine, but I'll have the link in it anyway, as always. Now, this is it right here. Okay, this is the picture right here. And I think it's great how it shows it's very colorful and all this other pretty stuff. But yeah, I see right through that crap. I think it's crap. But let me take a look. I mean, I was just looking at right here, like these long things right here. You go, okay, maybe it's just lighting. That's fine. I look around, I could just see these, like, it looks like a bunch of little things in here, but there's no way of knowing. And they really did do a good job of really messing this picture up. Oh my God. It's crazy how they do this thing. But let me just pop up here so we can... Okay. What I do is, as far as the brightness and contrast, you notice how it got dull? See how, like, bright that is, and all of a sudden it gets dulled out? There's a reason for that. Because when you invert, if it's super, super white, it's going to be really black when you invert. You don't want to do that. You want to have it so you can actually see what's under this, if there's anything at all. Or if they didn't do it so much that you can't see anything. And then I did that there. Now it's like, boom, it's like enhanced. But the reason why I do that is because of this. Now suddenly it looks like you can see things in here. It looks like you can see like these little roads, I believe these are large cities, and there's a reason for it, and you'll see it because near the end of this picture, you're going to see what kind of seals it for me. Like I said, 10 being absolute, 1,000%. I'm stuck around a 7. Even stretching to an 8, but let's call it a 7. Because I strongly believe there's no doubt in my mind that these are cities. There's just no doubt. Now, I'm not saying a 10 being 1,000%, because, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, these are not rock formations, I can tell you that. And unfortunately, I can't really zoom in there 100%, because you can see how it is now, and I'm in 100% right now. If I was to go 400% to really bring these in, yeah, you're just going to see a blotch. I don't like videos that show blotches. I want to see something that looks like symmetrical lines, shapes, something that looks like it's not naturally occurring in nature. I want to see something that looks intelligently made, or something that was made there. So this is your base, and like I said, see how it's just smooth out, like they just put this fogged out image over it, so it doesn't look, nothing pops, and that's the idea of this. But like I said, I mean, look down here. I mean, you can just see these, all of a sudden these popped in, like this, 2 of these. Now, see how it's like all smooth out? You don't see anything? Okay. Let's do this. Okay, blur it up. Now, even here, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 things just sitting right in a row. And they're quite large. To be honest with you, I don't know how far this thing's up. I have no idea. It could be miles up there, because this is huge. This is supposed to be a really good-sized mountain. So whatever's in here is going to be tiny. I don't care what it is. I mean, you're up miles upon miles. So just picture Google Earth and, just be miles up, and just tell me what the structures look like. I mean, they're tiny. But anyway, again, smooth out. This is the picture. Well, that's it right there. Okay. Now I'm going to zoom into over here first. Now I just desaturated, because sometimes you get so much color that it bleeds, and that doesn't help any clarity either. But let me just pop into this real quick. See if we can jump in here. See, like I'm seeing these right here in a row. Okay, let me just jump into this like 300%. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I was looking at Google, this is what a lot of these areas would look like. That's exactly what it would look like. Even if I was to blur it up a little bit. See, like there's 1, 2, 3. There's like all these different shapes, sizes. It looks like there's a bunch of little things in there, but you can't really tell. Look at 1, 2, 1, 2. Looks like roads. All kinds of structures, all kinds of weird things going on here. Let me back out just a hair bit. I don't want to be in too far because then you can't see it. But then you know, look at it right over to here. And of course, this is a total mess. But look right here. Looks like a bunch of little things in there, all in this white area. And that's what I keep telling people. You got to look at the white areas. That's where they're hiding most of their stuff. But they did make a boo-boo in this this picture, and I'm glad that they did, because they're trying to show. I don't know, the main part of this huge city. I don't know. But why would they go out of their way? They're really black. I mean, you can just see it looks like straight lines, like little round circle, just stuff that might be all in here. Look at one here, one here, one here. Bunch of little things all up in here. Look at this. Round comes down, down. Now, this isn't not inverted either yet. I'm going to invert in the next step. But this thing I want to show you that just coming right off the bat. Look at this. Look at the way this comes down and comes. See it? Goes up, goes across. Okay? There's just a lot of things, and that you can actually see in it. Look at this, different roads, I mean, who knows? The structures might be super small. I don't know. But this one looks like it's rectangular, then it's round, round, round. It's not something you would see in nature, like just all in a row, and they're perfect, like shaped, and they're in that line like that. At least I don't think so. Just a bunch of little things in here. It's really hard to pull out. Let's jump to this side if you can see anything in there. See how, like, you just see, like, it just looks like, look at this. Look at this right here. 1, 2, 3. All this running just with each other. Look at this. All of these little things in here. And again, it's whited out for a reason. See if we can blur it a little bit, see if that helps with any. But you could just see tons of this stuff all over the place. I mean, even in the, where they didn't brighten it up, you could just see like a bunch of little things all in here. And you may say, well, dude, I'm not convinced. I get it. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm a real critical thinker. I want to see this, or else, it's a deal breaker for me. You won't be able to zoom into any kind of structures, but you will see some pretty cool stuff near the end of this. Let me see here. See, like, you get this, like, rounded areas here, and there's stuff in here. There's just, like... Now, here's the wild part. I don't know if this has been inverted already. I believe some of it has. This is crazy. If you watch some of my videos, you know how I tell you that they actually take some pictures and they overlay onto others. Like they got layers, and they just take... Let's say they take this picture, and they'll take, like, this whole middle section. Like, if you could take that off and then just, like, manipulate this and invert this part or this part or this part down here, and then put this normal. Or invert this and keep all of this normal. You can't tell in some of these pictures. They just really go crazy with it. I'm going to tell you what steps I'm taking. And if I believe it's been A, inverted, or B, hasn't. So, yeah. So I'm going to go back in. All right. Okay, this is what kind of popped out for me. Now, watch this. This is just a couple things. And if you haven't seen this already, if you look right in here, you don't see anything. Now, if I zoom in, it's not going to make a bit of difference except for more pixelation and blur. But here's this something right here on this upper right, and there's something right here. Now I'm going, it looked like something silver right here, something shiny. I was like, what is that? Well, watch this. Let's just enhance it a little bit. Boom! All of a sudden, something's starting to pop out right here. See it? Okay, let's blur it up a little bit. Get rid of some of that. Get rid of the rough edges. Look at this, something here, something here. Something there. Okay. Okay. Blur it a little bit more. Now, even though you're blurring it, you're blurring the overall, I should say, overall picture. You're seeing it's actually taking off the pixelated edges. Watch. See, now it's like it looks okay. Okay. Now watch this smooth part right here. Watch this. See, it's blurred, but it actually takes out some of the rough edges, and that's the key. Now we can resharpen it again. Okay. This right here, again, this is not inverted. This is the actual picture. Well, what they show anyway. This is their natural picture, supposedly. You can just see these little squares and everything. I mean, you just name it. I mean, the buildings may not be traditionally like what we've got here, so we can't say, well, that's not a building. That don't look like a building to me. Well, not in our sense, maybe. Let me back out here a little bit. And I was looking at this over here. Look at, like a big circle, little one, kind of goes down here. There's just a bunch of crazy stuff in this picture, guys. There was something in here, too, I wanted to show you guys that was pretty cool. Like this is where I showed you in the beginning where I said it looked like a road or some sort. See how, like, you just can't see much of that? Even zoomed out? It's right there. You go, that's what I noticed right off the bat. When I see these long lines and stuff like that coming out, it just right off the bat, wow, what is that? So, go back up here. Okay. But you can see whatever it is, it's going up along. Okay. Okay, right off the bat, it starts to bring some definition. Blur it up a little bit. Okay, do a little reshopping. And of course, I am zoomed in 300%. So you're going to have some blur, you're going to have some kind of stuff like that. But look at this, like, all the way up here. And look how it has these weird shapes. See how it's going right here? Like it's like some kind of road area or something, or... Okay. Move over here. Now, see how this gets really crazy, like it's all whited out? But you can see, just look in between, you can see things that... all in here, look at this. Streets, or whatever they are. See, they come down, it goes over to here. This doesn't look like normal structures or something found by nature. So that's why you got to go, okay, I'm not sure what it is. I really can't see it. But, it's there. Okay. Now, it starts getting better here. And the reason why it starts getting better, because stuff seems to be a little bit more defined. This is where I showed you in the beginning. Okay, got this 1, 2, 3, goes across, goes down. See it? Look at this. Comes down, goes across. One here, one here. I mean, you can tell these are just, it's just intelligently made. Look at this. 1, 2, 1, 2. All these bunch of little roads and structures or whatever these are. I mean, and unfortunately, we cannot see these clearly, and that's the reason. That's the reason why they doctored up this picture the way they did. But look at this. Underneath all of this, they leave out where you can see, like, different things and roads and whatever these all are, these structures. Okay. Look up right here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Showed you that earlier. Okay. Now I'm going to pop out of here a little bit. This right here is what kind of sold the deal for me. Okay? And you can see it from here. Now, I'll put the picture back to normal. You'd go, if I said there's something right there, you'd say, okay, he's definitely jumped off the deep end. But, see how, like, even just equalizing it, boom, 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 things start to pop out. Okay, blur it up a little bit. Okay, see it all? And it just keeps going. It's crazy. It's just all over this area. Okay, blur it up a little bit more. Reshopping. Okay. Now, jump in. See how you just got these 1, 2, 3, 4, something large right here. Look at all these weird shapes and sizes. It's everywhere in this picture. It's crazy. These over here actually blew my mind too. This looks like either a spacecraft or just a real modern, funky looking structures. Because look at this thing right here. It looks like a Klingon vessel. You ever seen them when they cloak and everything? It's got this weird wing pattern, comes down to here, goes back over to here. See it? And it looks like it's on some kind of pad or some kind of launch pad or something. There's another one here, but this is what's crazy about this whole picture. When I invert this, you're going to see this change. It looks like just an indentation. But what's really funky is it looks like that one when you invert. And this actually changes. It looks a little bit clearer too. Look at this right in the back. And it like kind of runs along with each other. Look at this. All these weird 1, 2, 3, just these weird structures. Look at all of these. If you look at this, it looks like a fine road, and there's little roads running off of it. Structures. I mean, it's, oh my God, guys, it's crazy. It's in there, but like I said, it's so hard to pull this stuff out because they just went out of their way to just really go over this picture. Now, keep an eye on this thing right here. Watch when I invert. Suddenly it takes on this different form. It's still the same shape, though. And look at this. Now it looks like it's got an actual... Look at this. 1, 2, 3. There's something right here. There's something right there. And then this is kind of whited out. But look at this. It's like this other road runs off and goes into this area. Something over here. Now look at this right in the background. It looks like another smaller one version of these over here. See it? So now this is what I mean by you don't know if this was the real picture to begin with and they did this to it to just really throw you off. This combined with all of the just covering of the picture, you would never know it. You'd go, well, that looks like just a bunch of blur to me. And you're absolutely correct the way this sits. Absolutely correct. But like I said, when you start going through these pictures, now it makes you wonder. I've seen too many pictures of these guys that where they where they totally inverted a picture, like the moon picture I just did not too long ago. When you look at that one, I mean, this thing pops out. I mean, it looks like this on the hill. It's all like whited out, but after inverting it and changing it and bringing it out and enhancing it, you can see this thing almost as plain as day after it's been inverted. So that tells me if it's been if you invert the picture, suddenly everything looks clearer and more defined. That means this thing was inverted to begin with, because if it wasn't, it would look worse. That's all there is to it. Now this I see and I'm going, okay, that's definitely not nature made. And then after, like I said, inverting, look at this picture, and it's just at the very top of this picture. I can't go any higher with this picture, but look at all of these things all in here, man. I mean, it's all over this picture. It's all over this terrain. Everywhere you look. See it like suddenly, I mean, that may be just an indentation there, meaning, watch this. See it? But it doesn't look more, it looks faker to me. It doesn't look right. When you do this, it like, stuff takes on more of a actual, I don't know if, like I said, it's a building and this is some kind of, or if it's some kind of craft and it's on some kind of pad, I don't know. Or is it just a modern day looking building? Who knows? But nevertheless, these are streets and structures. You can tell that. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, going down, down. Okay, all these weird shapes. This looks like, see how it looks? It looks really squared off around this little thing. So it makes you wonder, is it a building or is that a craft as well? I don't know. See, like it just, I mean, it just looks unnatural. It just looks like a bunch of squares. But when you do this, suddenly you can just see like a bunch of little structures in there, separate and lines, and you see like these curvatures, these roads or whatever these are. Look at this. 1, 2, boom, boom, comes down. But this goes like this, comes around over here, and goes over to here. I don't know. Look at this. It looks like just too defined, like it's just something there. These things are just running. It's all horizontal this way, and they're all like running parallel with each other. I don't know. I mean, look at all, even in this little crater, you can see like these little, look at, like a elongated rectangular shape. Boom, boom, more rectangular. Boom, 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 little things around it. It's all over this picture. It's nuts. Look at this. Just take a look at anything in this picture. Here's another thing. This is what I was talking about here. Now look at this. Whatever this is, this may be just an area or a small raised up mountain area, because you can see where it comes down, and it looks like something like a mouthpiece, like football players put in their mouth when they're playing. You can see where it comes down, and then it has like a U shape right here. There's another one coming down over here. Look at all over here, all over here. All of these, just look at all these little details in here. Round, boom, 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 boom. Everywhere you look, there's something there. I mean, and these are probably just the big structures you're seeing. You're not even seeing the actual roads like the smaller ones. So, I mean, look at this over here. You can just see like all in here on the right-hand side of this page, even in this whited area. Look at this. Looks like there's something running right along there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like I said, when we jump back to what this looked like, this road here, look at this. You can see all these little dock areas that look like little roads and little structures off of them. I don't know. So what I mean by I don't know on this particular picture is I don't know if it's A, this is the real picture, or B, this is inverted, and we're seeing the actual picture now because I inverted. And as always, because some guys go, I don't know if it's inverted or not. Well, I'm going to tell you if it has been. Because, and you can see the steps, each step I take. I'm going to use this for example. This doesn't get inverted to way down here. So let's go right up to that point, and there it is. So this is not inverted. This is the actual deal right here. Well, at least their picture, what they've got online, and this is what you'll see yourself. But you can still see that right there. It's got, like I said, it's got this area right here, and it looks like it's got a bunch of things, but you don't know if that's inverted, because the second you invert, now this looks a lot bigger around this, well, I say it's a craft, this structure, craft, or whatever this is, and then, like I said, you can see this squared off area around it, like this huge area for whatever this is. So is it a futuristic looking building? I don't know. Is it just a craft, and this just, because I mean, if you look, it goes all the way up over here, and it's like this big thing just sitting right there. I don't know. You know, they're just guesses, but look at this, all in the background up here on the top. Look at all of these things. They're just everywhere here. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just everywhere you look. Just, I mean, because this thing's so high up, it's really hard to get any kind of, you know, really defined lines. But I don't know, guys. I mean, look at this. Just the way these circular with a dome or something like that. Boom, boom. All these roads. This is definitely a city. Now, is this thing still alive? Meaning, is it still thriving or is it not? Okay. Keep that question in your head because this is where I'm going back to now. Alright. Here, we'll go back to the original picture, and there's no wonder why it's hard to pull anything out because there's your picture. Here's that little craft, or what I call a craft, and there's another one here. Watch this. And you can suddenly now, it's like all more defined. See how like all of this whole area is more defined. Here's that thing where I said it's raised up. Actually, should be more over here, but see how like there's like openings here. Everywhere you look in here, there's all kinds of weird street structures. You name it, it's there. Now, let's go back to this here. And the reason why I asked this is because this is great. This is the journey that this thing's taken so far. And you can see where it shows south 191, then south 193 through 199. So it's been making its way all the way up to this point. Remember what I said? It was like 10 months or 11 months that this thing's traveled 2.66 miles. Okay. Here's that area where that craft is. Okay. And this is where that city is. So now you got to ask yourself, are you kidding me? This thing's been traveling through this? That's what you got to go. It shows it right here. Here's the craft. Here's the other picture. Here's the craft area I told you. It looked like a craft. And all of that city is right here. So, two things come to my mind. I start thinking right off the bat. So now it came down through here somewhere. And it went over here. And they said this is like Tennessee Valley, I think it was. Which one was this one? Yeah, Tennessee Valley. I thought so. So it went through into Tennessee Valley. It's just going to be coming out of it into Cumberland Ridge. Okay. All right in this area here. Just keep this as a reference point. Okay. And then look straight down into here. Okay. Spacecraft or pad, whatever it is, reference right into about here. It's going right through this city, guys. It's no wonder it's taking its sweet time beep-bopping through this area because here you go. Now, again, there's no absolutes that this path is even showing correctly. We don't know. And if it is, let's say this is the real McCoy. This is the actual path that this thing's taken. Why doesn't it just make a straight path? Now, I understand it could be some mountains, and I get all that, but I'm saying as far as it's just wild how it's just going right through. He can see these lines right here, not even doing anything to this picture. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. Now, let's keep that as a reference point. Let's jump back in. And you can see it right here. 1, 2, 3. But now that it's inverted, it's a little harder to see. But you can see all these weird objects. Let me jump in here again. See this round? It's like almost round, and it's got these 1, 2, 3, all these things on top of it. See how it looks like it's raised off the ground? Something right there with something in it. So, this thing's beep-bopping right through here. I mean, it's like coming right through this area. It's crazy. Now, keep in mind, they're just showing this path because they can't make it microscopic because you wouldn't, they don't want you to know that this thing's going through a city. Now, a couple questions come through your mind. Is this, if you look at this picture, and again, you can see right here, and this over here. Let me see if I can just return this picture back just for a moment so we can get a better idea. Okay. Here's those lines. 1, 2, 3, and it comes down like this here. Okay. 1, 2, 3 comes down right here. This thing has traveled right through here. That means it went right. Where is it again? 1, 2, 3. Here's that main dome thing. Now, let's see. Let's do this. Yeah. So there's your lines again. And come through. This thing literally went right through the center of town or whatever this is. Look at this. Dome. Round thing. Dome. All of these weird. Look at this. Where these buildings or whatever these are. It's nuts. So this thing's literally just going right through the center of this. Is that nuts or what? So now I do use this if this is all really there, and I believe it is. They wouldn't go out of their way to manipulate this thing that badly if there's nothing there. Why would they change a thing? Because you can see after I manipulated or changed it up and enhanced it, you can see these things pop. So that means if this is the real path that this thing's taken, it's went right through the city, guys. And it's probably, and if now it brings other questions. Okay, is there still life there? If this city is true and it's really there, and this is what a critical thinking mind does, and tries to think logically and rationally. If this city is still thriving, why would they let this thing go through the streets? I don't know about you, but if I knew there's something alien coming through mine, I'd try to shoot it right in the face, if you could. But or you do everything you could, like the military would attack it, the whole 9 yards. Okay, so that means there's nothing here, as far as there's nothing alive in here. Because this thing is just going right through these streets and cities or whatever it is, and it's just beep-bopping through them like it's not a big deal. So, what's that tell you? So, if this is all real, meaning this city is actually here, this path is actually the real deal, that the spirit has gone, then there you go. Let's put 2 and 2 together. They're not there just taking soil samples, and this thing's just checking out the scenery. Just driving right through it, checking out the scenery. So, I don't know. I mean, you guys can give me your thoughts on it. I'd be curious to know, because I'm seeing what I'm seeing here. You guys can download this here, and again, I'll leave the link, but this is the Pier 07848. Check it out yourself. I will leave the link, and I don't know. I'd be curious, like I said, if you guys tell me what you think it is. It sure looks like cities to me, and it sure looks like that little rover is going. Think about it. Why do they pick this small rover to go through there? Well, maybe because there's not much room to navigate through different areas, and maybe because, you know, a lot of these small rovers, because their wheels are so small, they get stuck in dirt. Well, what happens if they're just cruising around on pavement? Can do it all day long, right? Now, I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing these ideas. I'm not saying this is everybody's got to believe what I'm saying. I'm just throwing these ideas, and you tell me what you think. Maybe you guys got better ideas than I have, or maybe you've seen things I haven't seen. Are these all just naturally made anomalies here? Give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to it. You'll find some pretty wild stuff here, guys. Give me some thumbs up. Always greatly appreciated, because I do this for you guys. Because like I said, if I couldn't find anything in these pictures, and guys, I can't even tell you how many times I've looked at pictures and I've seen things in the pictures, but I go, I'm seeing more of a silhouette because they manipulate it, or an outline of something. I don't want to make a video just strictly on an outline. I don't want to do that. To me, it's a waste of my time, and it's surely a waste of yours. And I don't want to do that. So I make these videos for you guys. I love exploring these pictures, checking out what I can find. So, like I said, if you haven't subscribed, do so. You know, welcome aboard. We don't have a problem with that, and I like to think all my subscribers are pretty critical thinking people. They like to look at different angles, and they want the truth. I'm the same way. That's the reason why I started. I want the truth. I want to know what's up here. And I think if it is, check this out. If that city is real, that path is correct, that the spirit's taken, man, that's awesome. And if you're into space and this kind of thing, it gives you a cool feeling knowing that we are there. Now, I just wish they'd come clean if it is all real, and that they would show us this stuff. So, with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for watching. Always greatly appreciated. Again, this is the reason why I do this for you guys. Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Give me your take on it. Let me know what you guys think. All right? You guys have a good day. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next pick.